right, it looks like someone joined the Zoom named Jim Becker. Jim, what company are you from?
Luxury Rides, Colorado.
Okay. And will you be presenting any evidence today?
I have proof of insurance. I've had proof of insurance, and I have a record from my insurer showing that they did file prior to the 14th for continuity for insurance.
Okay. Are you able to change your screen name to be your name and then also the company that you're with?
Let me see. Rename. There it is.
Just so it's clear. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, or good at noon, I suppose. It's not quite afternoon yet. Today is Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. As I said, it's noon, which is the appointed time for the commencement of our bi-weekly insurance show cause hearing. I see Tracy, our court reporter, is on the call. Tracy, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go ahead and get started then. Okay, I am now calling proceeding number 23C-0451-INS. This is the Commission's bi-weekly insurance show cause proceeding set by notices and complaints to individual respondents. My name is Alenka Hahn, and I am the administrative law judge assigned to this case. Consistent with Commission practice, we are webcasting both the audio and the video of this hearing. We are also recording the hearing and have a court reporter taking down everything that's being said. To avoid background noise, please keep your microphones muted until it's your turn to speak. Speak loudly and clearly, and do not talk over each other so that we can get a nice, clear, clean record. All right, let me first find out who's here today. I'd like to start with counsel for the Commission. Please enter your appearance.
Hi, Your Honor. My name is Sky Walker, attorney registration number 58330 from the Colorado Attorney General's office, and I'm here on behalf of staff.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Can you introduce who your witness will be today?
Yes, I'm joined today by Marquita Riley from the Public Utilities Commission.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. I also see we have a Mr. Jim Becker with Luxury Rides Colorado. It looks like, would you please identify yourself and make an appearance for the record, please?
I'm seeing the button. There you go. My name's Jim Becker. I'm the owner of Luxury Rides Colorado.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Becker. I don't see that we have any other respondents. I believe you're the only one appearing, Mr. Becker. Let me first ask Ms. Walker, though, are you still seeking to revoke the permits of the respondents who are appearing here today, or the respondent who is appearing here today?
No, Your Honor. That was one thing I wanted to discuss before we got into the hearing. Staff does recommend dismissing Luxury Rides Colorado. It looks like they've got the right paperwork on file. So.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Walker. Mr. Becker, that means that you are now in compliance with PUC rules and regulations, and the case is not proceeding against Luxury Rides. It will be dismissed. So you do not need to stay if you do not want to. You're welcome to. It's a public hearing, but it's not being pursued against you. So you are free to leave if you'd like.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Okay. Are you otherwise ready to proceed, Ms. Walker?
We are.
All right. I will dispense with going over all the general practices since it looks like it's just us again today.
Yep.
So if you're ready to proceed,
Sounds great.
please go ahead and call your first witness.
Okay. Staff would like to call Marquita Riley to the stand.
Good afternoon, Ms. Riley. If you go ahead and raise your right hand with me. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this case will be the truth?
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Your witness, Ms. Walker.
Hi, Ms. Riley. Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
Marquita Riley, Marquita-Riley.
And who's your current employer?
The Public Utilities Commission.
And what's your job title?
I'm the program assistant for the transportation unit.
What is your role in today's proceeding?
I help to review the commission records and coordinate with staff for these proceedings against motor carriers that do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
Do the commission's statutes and rules require motor carriers to file evidence of financial responsibility with the commission?
Yes.
And which statutes or rules require that?
Per Rule 6008 require that motor carriers file and maintain evidence of financial responsibility with the commission.
And what exactly needs to be provided to the commission to show financial responsibility?
Per Rule 6008, Motor carriers must electronically file certain forms, such as a Form E will be an example of financial responsibility.
And how long does evidence of financial responsibility remain in effect?
Per Rule 6008 requires that each insurance company give the commission a 30-day advance written notice when insurance is not being renewed or if it's being canceled.
What is the next step when you receive a notification of cancellation or a notification of non-renewal?
We use the Commission's op rights database to compile a list of motor carriers that have received notice of cancellation.
Thank you. And before we turn to the specific exhibits, did you provide the exhibits for today's hearing to respondents?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at what has been previously marked as hearing exhibit number 1. Perfect. Ms. Riley, could you please describe this document?
Yes, this is the initial hearing cycle listing that contains the names of the respondents that the Commission received notice that their financial responsibility was going to expire.
And who prepared this list?
Commission staff did.
And when was it prepared?
It was prepared on September 8th, 2023.
Perfect. And is it the practice of the Commission to create hearing cycle listings like the one we see in Exhibit 1 in the regular course of the Commission's business activities?
Yes.
And is it the practice of the Commission to maintain documents in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Perfect. And I just want to make sure that we can see the full exhibit for the record. So if you could scroll down to the final page. My apologies if you had already done that. Oh, perfect. Okay, Your Honor, I move for the admission of Exhibit 1 into evidence.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. There are no respondents, so no objections. So hearing Exhibit 1 is admitted into evidence.
Ms. Riley, based on this list, what action did the Commission take?
The Commission sent a letter to each respondent.
Let's turn to what has been marked as Exhibit 2. Perfect. Ms. Riley, what are these documents?
These are copies of the letters sent to each respondent. Each is a complete copy of the letter sent to each respondent. I'm sorry.
No worries. And what information is in these letters for respondents?
The letter explains that all operations under its authority may be permanently revoked if proper insurance is not filed with the Commission. The letter also provides information on how to participate in today's hearing. And if financial responsibility is not submitted to the Commission, then its authority may be revoked.
And when did the Commission send out these letters?
On September 8th, 2023.
And is it the practice of the Commission to create letters like the one we see here in Exhibit 2 in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And is it also the practice of the Commission to maintain letters like we see in Exhibit 2 as part of its regular business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Exhibit 2.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. There are no objections, and hearing Exhibit 2 will therefore be admitted into evidence.
Ms. Riley, does the Commission require motor carriers to establish and maintain a designated agent?
Yes, per Rule 6006 requires that motor carriers file and maintain a designated agent.
And were these notice letters sent to the addresses of the designated agents that were provided to the Commission?
Yes.
And how did the Commission serve these letters?
The letters were mailed out first class postal mail.
Let's turn to what has been previously marked as hearing Exhibit 3. Perfect. If you could please describe this document.
This is an attachment sent with each notice letter. The attachment provides information on how to participate in today's conference hearing.
And when was this attachment sent to respondents?
The attachment was sent with each notice letter in Exhibit 2 on September 8th, 2023.
And is it the commission's standard practice to include this attachment with the notification letters that we saw in Exhibit 2 to respondents when it holds an electronic hearing?
Yes.
And did the commission create this attachment in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And is it the practice of the commission to maintain this attachment in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Exhibit 3 into evidence.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Again, there being no objections, hearing Exhibit 3 is admitted into evidence.
I'd like to pivot to what has been previously marked as hearing Exhibit 4. Perfect. Ms. Riley, could you please describe this document?
Yes, this is a certificate of service for the notice letters and attachments sent to each respondent.
And did the commission create this certificate in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And is it the practice of the commission to maintain certificates like Exhibit 4 in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would like to move for admission of Exhibit 4 into evidence.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Hearing Exhibit 4 will be admitted into evidence.
Ms. Riley, the language on the certificate states whose names and addresses appear below, and then it also states the hearing cycle listing. Are these statements referring to the original hearing cycle listing that we saw in Exhibit 1?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with regard to Exhibit 2, which is the notice letter, the notice letter gives respondents information about providing evidence of insurance or surety coverage before the hearing, as you testified to. If the commission does receive evidence of insurance or surety coverage, what happens in that scenario?
Then we do not proceed against that carrier and dismiss them from the hearing cycle listing.
And did staff create an updated hearing cycle listing for today's case?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's turn to what has been previously marked as hearing exhibit number 5. If you could please describe this document.
This is the updated hearing cycle listing for today's hearing. This document contains the names of the respondents that still have not provided proof of financial responsibility to the commission.
And who created this document?
Commission staff.
And when was it created?
It was created September 26, 2023.
And is it just one page or is it multiple pages? If it's multiple pages, if we could please scroll down. It's hard for me to tell.
It's
Looks
just
like
one page today.
Perfect, thank you. And did the commission create this updated hearing cycle listing in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And is it the practice of the commission to maintain updated hearing cycle listing documents like the one we see here as part of its regular business activities?
Yes.
Perfect. Your Honor, I'd like to move for the admission of Exhibit 5 into evidence.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Hearing Exhibit 5 will be admitted into evidence.
Ms. Riley, did staff send a letter to all motor carriers listed here in Exhibit 5?
Yes.
And do the addresses listed in Exhibit 5 match the carriers' addresses listed in Exhibit 2?
Yes.
And when was the last time you checked to see if there was any change in the status of carriers listed here in Exhibit 5?
Today, this morning, September 27th, 2023.
Is staff still recommending that we proceed against these 4 respondents listed in Exhibit 5?
Yes.
And are you aware of any pending applications affecting any carriers listed in Exhibit 5?
We don't have any pending applications at this time.
And lastly, are you aware of any letters that were returned to the commission?
We have no return mail for this proceeding.
Ms. Riley, do you know when the decision that's issued as a result of this hearing becomes a final commission decision?
The recommended decision will become a final commission decision 20 days after the administrative law judge issues a decision, if no exceptions are being filed.
And if a carrier provides proper proof of insurance before the decision becomes final, what happens in that circumstance?
Then the recommended decision will not be enforced against that respondent.
And what is staff's recommendation for today?
The staff recommends that the permit numbers listed on here in Exhibit 5 be revoked due to lack of financial responsibility as required by law.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. Your Honor, I have no further questions for Ms. Riley, and staff rests their case.
Thank you so much, Ms. Walker. There being no respondents today, there obviously will not be any kind of response from anyone. So that would therefore conclude the evidentiary portion of our hearing. So let me go ahead and make our closing remarks, and then we can all adjourn for today. The next steps from here are that I will issue a written recommended decision. That decision is not effective immediately. As Ms. Riley already stated, it will be effective 20 days after the mailing date, which will be stated on the decision. To anyone who's listening, please pay close attention to that mailing date. The decision will include information on what anyone can do to avoid revocation prior to the 20 days expiring. Just to be clear, I do not know when the written decision will be mailed, but rest assured that you will have time after it's issued to take action if a respondent wants to avoid revocation. All right, that concludes the hearing for today. Thank you for your presentations and for being here today. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walker.